Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Zuxo here, and in this video, sorry for the delay. No, a lot of you probably been waiting for the next video. I had a lot of stuff to do, and I haven't had the time to keep making videos. So sorry about that. But anyway, in this video, I'll be going over the actual interface of Audiotool, of the Audiotool app. So you might be wondering, Zorn, or why didn't you make the interface video first? Well, most people, when they first get on Audiotool, they want to make music and make songs right off the bat. So I thought I'd teach y'all that first and then go deeper into the rest of the things. So we're gonna go over this area first. There's 4 different tabs of this area. I don't think there's an actual name for this area, but this first tab is where you will add your synths, drums, tools, effects, and blah blah blah. You'll add them, so you can drag them out, drag out anything you want, pretty much, and you can't do anything else other than drag out things from this page. This page is the samples. It's 4 different tabs, 3 different types of samples. No, there's actually 2 different types of samples. Excuse me. The first sample, the first type of sample, is a loop sample. Now, loop samples depend on the tempo to change their tone, and one-shot samples don't. I'll be making a whole nother video just on samples and how to use them correctly. So, and I only have 15 minutes to make this video, so I'll explain all that in another video. So you can browse your one-shot loops. One-shot loops are mainly and most often only used for the machinist to create beats, while loop samples are used for pretty much everything else. One-shot loops can also be used for effects. They can be put on the timeline. I'll explain that later. And this tab right here is all the samples, every single one combined. So, in the next tab, we have the favorites. So, say you find a sample you really like, and you want to save that. What you do is there's a little heart right here. If you click on it, it will appear in your favorites tab somewhere. It's there. Wow, I favored a lot of stuff. It's there somewhere. There it is, right here. So it will appear there, and you have the same thing: your loop samples and your one-shot samples. Then you have the samples that you created. These are the samples that you recorded, the samples you uploaded, and so on. And you have the same thing: loop samples, one-shot samples, and then finally you have the samples that are currently in your track or have been in your track. This sample isn't in my track anymore, but it was, so it will appear in this tab. In the next tab of this area, we have the area to set up your MIDIs. So say you have a keyboard or something, a MIDI keyboard, and you want to connect it to a Heisenberg, for example. You go to this tab and connect it. I don't have a MIDI keyboard or anything like that, so I can't show you how that's done, but I'm sure there's a video online or something if you don't know how to. And finally, the last tab of this area is this area shows every change you made since you opened up the track. So I could click on any one of these little arrows right here and it will undo everything up to that. Or I could click on one of the unhighlighted areas. It'll redo. You know what I'm saying? Another way to undo and redo is Control Z for undo and Control Y for redo. You can also use these little arrows up here, back and forwards. That's it for this area. Now we go down here to the timeline. The timeline is kind of hard to explain, so bear with me. The timeline is where you place notes and edit them and so on. So if I drag out Heisenberg, one thing about the timeline is that if you drag out a synth, any one of these synths, a note region will automatically pop up in the timeline. This doesn't work for anything else. It doesn't work for the tools, the effects, or the drums. It only works for the synths. I'm not sure if it works for the bass line. And it doesn't work for the bass line. It only works for the Pulversatcher and the Heisenberg, sorry. Now, I'm going to quickly go over how to edit this bar right here. This bar right here that just popped up is called a note region. It is inside a note track. A note track is inside a track. This whole line right here is called a track. And yeah, it's called a track. Sorry. There's different types of tracks, but mostly I'm gonna focus on the note track right now. If you double click on the note region, then this highlighted area will pop up. And in this highlighted area, is the actual area where you create your notes. So if I double click anywhere on here, notes will appear. As you can see, it plays. I'll teach you the tricks after I go over everything. To delete a note, right click on the note and then click delete. You could also click on the note and then hit backspace. That also works. But it's always double click. No, it's not. It's not always double click. Forgive me. Say you created, a little beat, but you want it to loop. If you put your mouse right at the edge of the note region, click, hold, and drag, it will extend the note region to play longer. That's a horrible loop, but now say you want to add more to that loop. There's a little arrow right here. See if I can zoom in. There's a little arrow right here, right, between the note region and the highlighted area. If you click, hold, and drag, same as the note region, and drag it out, it gives you more space to do your things. I'm running out of time. I'll make a part 2 of this to explain the rest of this. So I'll be right back.